You finally made the decision to set up your own company and you want to know the best way to get started. Everything needs to be done quickly as there seems to be a lot of admin to get through, but you want to make sure that you do it efficiently and you do it correctly. These are our 6 easy steps to set up your new company. Registering the company, registering for PAYE, registering for VAT, opening a business bank account, business insurances, and finding an accountant. This is something you can simply do online through several websites, but the easiest is to use Companies House, as they are the government body that monitors all limited companies. To set your company up, you'll need to think of a few details first. A company name, something simple, it could just be your initials or something memorable. A company address, what do you want to be on the public records? Your directors' details, have you decided who the directors are going to be? If you're setting up the business on your own, then this will just be you, and therefore you'll just need to fill out all of your own personal details, your date of birth, your nationality, etc. Shareholders. You want the company to be limited by share capital so that you can take out the profits tax efficiently. The shareholders own the company and receive dividends. As with the director, you can start with you as a sole shareholder, and you can choose the number of shares you want. If it's just you, one ordinary share of £1 is enough. A credit card. It costs £12 to register the company on Companies House. After you've done all this, Companies House will process the application. It'll take a few days and then they'll send your incorporation certificate, which your clients may need to see before signing a contract. You will also receive a 6-digit code through the post. Keep hold of this. You'll need this code whenever you want to sign into Companies House in the future. HMRC will then be automatically notified of your new company. They will write to you with your company's unique taxpayer reference, which you will need to be able to file a tax return in the next year, as well as some of the steps we will take today. The most efficient way of taking the money from the company is by paying yourself a small salary each month and then taking the rest as dividends. You will need to register a payroll with HMRC through the Employers section on the HMRC website. You'll need all the company's details, including the unique taxpayer reference, and you will also need all your personal details again. You will then need to submit payroll documents to HMRC monthly. You can do this online through a payroll software or by using an accountant. Registering for VAT. You must register for VAT if your VAT taxable turnover is £85,000 in a 12-month period. If your business turnover is below £85,000, you can register voluntarily for VAT. If you're not sure whether to do this, you may want to get some expert advice from an accountant. Again, you can do this through the HMRC website. It's the same place for registering for PAYE, so you can do it all at the same time. You'll need all the company's details again, including the unique taxpayer reference and all your personal details. You will then submit your VAT returns to HMRC, usually quarterly. You can do this through an accountant or through the government gateway on HMRC's website. Your business will need its own bank account as it's a separate legal entity. You can then use this bank account to pay for all your business bills and transactions, for example, your salary, your dividends, payments to HMRC for VAT, corporation tax, PAYE and NI, repaying your personal expenses like mileage, paying other businesses' bills like mobile phones and travel expenses. It may be easier using the bank that you've already have your personal account with, but that doesn't always mean it's the best solution. Here are a few things to consider. Your bank charges, usually free for the first year, and then you pay monthly fees and charges depending on your transactions. Online banking, check you can get online access to statements and can make payments online without extra charges. Phone banking, it can be convenient if you aren't near any of your local branches, but you have inquiries. Location and bank manager, Having a face-to-face approach, asking about any other inquiries, a helpful bank manager can be very useful. Interest paid to you. Check the rates you'll receive on the bank of any cash in your account. When you've chosen the bank, you can set up the account. You will usually need to do this by going into the bank, as there are some security procedures that you'll need to follow. However, ring first or apply online, as there is often a delay in getting an appointment, as startup managers deal with a lot of businesses. You'll need all the company details, the certificate of incorporation that Companies House has issued you, your memorandum, your articles of association, and your share certificates. You'll have received all of these when you register the company. The bank will also need to do some security checks on you personally. They'll need to see some photographic ID, your passport or your driving licence, and a proof of address. Depending on your nature of work and your clients, you may need some insurance. Even if your clients don't require it, you should at least consider professional indemnity insurance, which will cover you against any claims from your clients. You may also want to look at public liability insurance for the company, and now that you're self-employed, you might want to check insurances for loss of earnings if you're unable to work due to an illness, for example. You can do all the bookkeeping by yourself and submit the relevant returns to Companies House and HMRC. These can include accounts, corporation tax returns, VAT returns, and payroll submissions. Or you might want to concentrate on what you do best and use an accountant for all the other stuff. You will also be able to get advice from the accountant to make sure the company and personal finance are as tax efficient as possible. They should help you fully understand all the numbers. They should be available throughout the year, and of course, making sure you meet all the HMRC requirements and the deadlines. There are a number of things to consider. These include the size of your firm. Apple wouldn't pick a one-man band accountancy firm in Liverpool, and a global firm of accountants wouldn't be right for a small business in Liverpool. It makes sense to pick an accounting firm that works with the size of your business. Their experience. Do they have experience with your type of business in your sector? Make sure they are able to give you relevant advice. Fees. Cheapest isn't always best. Recommendations. If anyone you know has used them, ask their opinion. Otherwise, check out testimonials on their website or ask them if you can speak to a current client. Relationship. Make sure you can work with this person on a day-to-day basis. Trust them and value their advice. It is possible to speak to an accountant before you set the company up. They will need to do some security checks the same as the bank, so you'll need photographic ID and a proof of address. If you're already up and running, you'll also need all the company details so that they can start work. There are a number of common pitfalls in setting up a limited company. Getting the share capital wrong. This can be costly as the tax efficiencies are based on shares. Getting the salary wrong. Most companies will pick a whole round number, for example, £1,000 a month, and pay more tax than necessary. Choosing the wrong VAT scheme. There are lots of different schemes. You need one that is best for you. Delaying VAT registration. Some customers like to see your VAT registration before you start a contract. Setting up a PAYE scheme but missing a monthly submission to HMRC, fines can add up quickly. Underestimating the waiting time for a bank account. It can be quite a few weeks to meet up with a startup manager. Not getting correct insurances. We all hope that nothing goes wrong, but sometimes it does, and it's useful to be covered. Failing to claim for the allowed expenses to reduce your tax bill. An accountant will help you with this. Hopefully, you now feel confident enough to set up your limited company and start trading, but sometimes it does pay to get expert help. If you do need anything, please just get in touch.